Hello, welcome. My name is Anne McKinnell, and in this video we're going to look at importing and organizing your images in Lightroom. I'm using Lightroom 4, but it's exactly the same in Lightroom 5. Lightroom is very workflow oriented, and you can see in this top navigation bar that we're currently in the library module. That's where you look at your photos and organize them into folders and collections. Once your photos are imported into the library, you can move on to the Develop module to start making adjustments to them. But for now, we'll be working in the Library module. There are essentially two ways that you can go about importing your photos into Lightroom. The first is to import them directly from your card, using a card reader or connecting your camera to the computer. The second way is to import existing files directly from your hard drive or from an external hard drive into your Lightroom catalog. So we're going to go ahead and look at the first method, importing your photos directly from your card. So I'm going to connect my card reader to my computer to show you that. Okay, so I've connected my card reader to my computer, and I didn't actually have any images on my card, so I quickly went and took some photographs of my dog just to show you. So these are some photographs of Angelina the Beagle. So the first thing that we do is select which images we want to import. By default, all the new photos are selected. But if I didn't want to do all of them, I could deselect this. And if I only wanted to, say, import these first 4 photos, I could pick the first one and hold down my Shift key to pick the last one, and then check the box so that these are all selected, and it would go ahead and import those 4 photos. But actually, what I want to do is select all of them. So up at the top, you'll notice that we have some options. You can copy as DNG, or just copy, which is what I'm going to do. I'm going to copy these images from my card onto my hard drive. These other options are options that you'll have available when you're copying photos that are already on your hard drive. So just select the copy option here. Now, here are your options over here on the right-hand side. Under File Handling, I keep my render previews here to minimal. You can, at this point, have it render larger sizes, but to keep the importing as quick as possible, I just leave this at minimal. One thing you can do is check this box for Don't Import Suspected Duplicates. And what this will do is it won't import files that you've already imported. So say I had some photos on this card that I've imported already, and I forgot to erase them from my card, and I went on and took some more photos. If this checkbox is selected, Lightroom won't import the photos that were already there, that are already imported into Lightroom. This option to make a second copy, this is good if you want to use Lightroom to make a backup copy of your images immediately. I have a different method of making backups of my photos, so I'm going to leave this deselected for now. In File Renaming, this is how you tell Lightroom what your naming convention is. There are many different ways of naming your photographs. Lots of people will use the subject or a particular event name or something like that, followed by a sequence number, which is perfectly fine. I tend to leave mine in date format. I just find it personally easier to find my images when I'm looking for them later, because I usually know what the image is called, and so I can easily find it that way. It doesn't really matter which way you do it. Whatever method is convenient and makes the most sense for you. So there are a number of templates. I like to use a shoot name followed by the date and the original file name. This is just my personal method of file naming. So what I do here is for shoot name, I can put in a location or the event or, you know, whatever you want to do. So I can put in here Angelina. And what it's going to do is have Angelina followed by the date that I took the picture, followed by the original file name from the camera. So like I say, you can do it this way, or you can have an event name followed by 001, have your sequence work that way, whatever makes the most sense for you. Here in Apply During Import, this is where you can apply some settings. If you have a preset for the way you like to develop your photos, you can apply them right here if you want to. I don't do this because I like to process my images one at a time, so I'm going to leave this set to none. Under Metadata, this is where you apply your copyright. As you can see, I already have my copyright selected in the Metadata drop-down box, but if you haven't done that yet, you can click here and select New. And then you can go ahead and enter your copyright information in these fields. So I could say 2013 Anne McKinnell in the copyright and then select Copyrighted. And I can enter more information if I want to in any of these fields. And then you would just enter a name for the preset and save that. Now I already had mine, so I'm just going to cancel here and select 2013 copyright. At this point, you can also add some keywords, but you need to be very general here because these keywords are going to apply to all of the photos that you're importing right now. So if there is a keyword that applies to all of them, you can go ahead and enter it now. Otherwise, you can enter more specific keywords later. So in this case, I could enter here Beagle. Now in the destination, I can say where I want these photos to go. So I like to organize my photos by date, as I mentioned before. So I want them to be in my main hard drive here, and they're going to go into my Pictures folder and then be organized by date. So I'm going to select the subfolder, and it'll come automatically here the date that I took the image, and you can see that it's planning on importing 29 images into this folder. So those are all of the options, and now I can go ahead and click Import. So Lightroom is working on importing my files right now. So what I can show you while this is happening is over on the left-hand side, you can see my catalog. And here's my catalog of all of my photographs. I have almost 40,000 photographs in my catalog. And you can see the current import, the photos that it's importing right now. And these are the folders. You can see here I have a number of external hard drives. These ones are gray because they're not connected to my computer right now. My archive number 3 is connected to my computer, and this is my main hard drive. So we can scroll down here, and I'll explain what's going on with these question marks in a minute. But these are my main folders organized by date. So if I click here, you can see all of these images that we just finished importing. Now the other way to import your files into Lightroom is to import your existing files from your hard drive. So say you already had a bunch of photos on your computer before you got Lightroom, and you want to now add those to your Lightroom catalog. This is the method that you would use. So now I'm ready to import my files, and what I have is some really old files that are on an external hard drive, and I want to add those to my Lightroom catalog. So I'm going to go here and click this import button. Here's my really old archive, and I'm going to pick this, and I'm going to select these folders, these photos here I took a very long time ago in my neighborhood park. So what I want to do here is simply add them to the catalog. I don't want to copy these files and make a new copy of them. I don't want to move them or do anything like that. I want them to stay living on my external hard drive and just add them to the catalog so I have access to them in Lightroom. So we're going to select Add in this top bar. On the right hand side, the options are fewer than what we had when we imported from the card, but the ones that are here are very similar. We don't want to import selected duplicates. I'm not going to make a second copy right now. And again, I don't do any develop settings at this point because I like to develop my images one at a time, but I am going to apply my copyright, and I am going to add some keywords. So those keywords are going to apply to all of the images that we're importing right now. And then I simply click Import. So here we are. Again, we can see the status of the current import, and we can see the bar up here and see the progress. So it looks like it's about finished importing those 92 images. It's much faster when you do it this way because the images aren't being copied. They're already on the hard drive. So it's simply adding a database connection to those images so that I have access to them within Lightroom. One thing that is very important, after your images have been imported into Lightroom, if you decide to move them, say I want to rename the folder that they're in, or I want to move them from my main hard drive onto an external hard drive, or something like that, you're going to want to do it in Lightroom. Anything you do like that in Lightroom will be reflected in your file manager, like Windows Explorer or Mac Finder. But if you do it outside of Lightroom, if I were to move a folder in Finder, Lightroom would no longer know where it is, and that database connection would be lost. And that is why I have all of these folders over here with these question marks, because I made that mistake in the past and I haven't fixed them all yet. So this folder I have here called 2012-0531 is missing. It has a question mark here. So I know where it is because I moved this folder onto an external hard drive. When my hard drive got too full, I moved it onto one of my backup drives. So what you can do is right-click on it and click Find Missing Folder. And now I can go ahead and tell Lightroom what happened to that folder. So it's in my archive number 3. (2012-0531), and I click, it's off your screen here, but there's a button that says Choose. And now what happens is that folder is now going to be visible in my archive 3. And there it is. So now Lightroom now knows what happened to those files and where they are, so it can access them again. So one last thing I'll show you is when you select a single file, so let's say I want to look at this image, Down here I can move between the grid view and the loop view. So if I want to look closer details at this image, I can choose the loop view. And there's data over on the right hand side about this single file. So at this point, if I wanted to add a keyword that's specific to this particular photo, I can go ahead and add the keyword right here. And I can also add any metadata that I want. I can check this metadata. I can add a title and a caption to this particular photograph right here in the library module. Thanks for joining me for this overview on how to import and organize your images in Lightroom. I'm Ann McKinnell. See you next time.